Hello again, everyone. Today's video is going to be on number patterns with multiples. And what I'm about to show you here is a number pattern that we're going to use with 5-cent coins with multiples. So why don't we go ahead and look at the directions now. It says, look at this pattern made using 5-cent coins. So as you can see here, there's a number pattern made out of 5-cent coins. Below this are several questions here that we're going to go over individually. Okay, so I'm going to read each one and I'm going to solve it for you. And then after that, I'm going to give you a bonus activity following this demonstration lesson here that you can do on your own. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the questions below the 5-cent coins now. So the first question here says, what is the value of each row? So basically, the first coin here is a row, and then the 2 coins here is a row, and then the 3 coins here is a row, and then the bottom 4 coins here are a row. So we're going to answer the question of what's the value of each row. So the first row here has 5 cents, and it's the only row with just 1 coin. So the answer then is 5 cents. The second row has 2 5-cent coins. So the answer there is 10 cents. Then the third row has 3 5-cent coins. So the answer there is 15 cents. And then the fourth row, the last row, has 4 5-cent coins. So the answer is 20 cents. So we have answered the first question of what is the value of each row. So there you go. Now you can see what the value is for each row. So looking at the second question, it says, what is the value of the top 2 rows? So for the top 2 rows, I'm going to use this formula here to figure out what the value is for the top 2 rows. And the formula that I'm going to use is 5 times n plus 1 divided by 2. Now, the n will represent the number of rows that the question is asking here. And so if you're still not understanding what I'm trying to accomplish, let me show you with the actual numbers and using the numbers now. So again, the second question says, what is the value of the top 2 rows? Okay, so I gave you what the formula is. So now here's how I'm going to solve it. I'm going to go 5 times 2 times 2 plus 1 divided by 2. So the answer, well, this is not the answer, but then the next step then will be 5 times 2 is 10 times 3, because in the brackets you got 2 plus 1, so that's 3. Okay, so then 10 times 3 equals 30, and then 30 divided by 2 equals 15 cents. So, and that's my answer here. So again, using this formula, 5 times n plus 1 divided by 2 should be able to give you the answer for the questions that they're asking. So that is the value of the top 2 rows. let's look at the next question now. And that says, what is the value of the top 3 rows? So again, using the same formula, I'm going to go and do it like this. 5 times 3 times 3 plus 1 divided by 2. And then the next step will be 5 times 3 is 15. And then adding 3 plus 1 in the parentheses or brackets, if that's what you want to call it, is 4. And then I'm going to take the 15 times 4 and multiply it by 4, and that'll give me 60. And then taking the answer of 60, I'm going to divide it by 2, and that'll give me 30. So my answer is 30 cents. Okay, if I forgot to mention the cents, it's 30 cents. As you can see that on the screen here. Okay, the next question says, what is the value of all the rows? So using the same formula, as I've been telling you, you're going to say, I'm going to show you, So I'm going to show you on the screen here, 5 times 4 times 4 plus 1 divided by 2. I'm going to multiply 5 times 4, and that equals 20. And then in the parenthesis or bracket, if that's what you want to call it, I'm going to add 4 plus 1, and that gives me 5. I will then multiply 20 times 5 to get an answer of 100, and then take that 100 and divide it by 2, and then I'll get an answer of 50 cents. So the answer is 50 cents. Okay? So that's the formula I'm using to figure out what the values of each row is for this activity. Okay? Now, there are other ways you can write this formula out, and I'm sure there are other ways you can solve this formula. This is just the formula I want to show you. And then the last question, the last question says, what do you notice about the totals each time? So again, the way I'm going to phrase this, and there are always going to be several ways to say this, and this is just my way. If you have another way of saying it, go ahead. Again, just as long as the answer is clearly written and it's correct, that's all that matters. So the way I answered it would be like this, which is they increase by 5 cents. Okay, so that's my way. You could say that it goes up by 5 cents, each row has 5 cents more, something like that. You just got to tell me something that says 5 cents. And again, this is a short answer here. So again, as always, put a capital at the beginning here, where the T is for they, and then a period at the end here for the period, or the full stop, if that's what you want to call it, okay? And the last statement here, it's not a question. It says, the total of all the rows is also a multiple of 25 and 50. So if we want to figure out later on in the bonus activity, it's going to ask you some questions about multiples of 25 and 50. You can use this formula I'm showing you here and figure it out. This way you don't necessarily have to keep drawing up the cents like this, like I'm showing you here. This visual is just to kind of help you see what I'm trying to do to solve the problem. Okay? So now that we've done this part for my demonstration lesson, I want to do the bonus activity, but before I do the bonus activity, I want to add one other row which will just assist you as a visual in the bonus activity. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at that next visual, the next row I'm going to add to help you with the bonus activity now. So here's the extra row that I've added here. So it would be a 5th row I've added. And this is just to help you with the bonus activity as as you'll see in the bonus activity, it actually skips this row, so it might be a bit confusing to you when trying to solve the questions. So I'm going to show you this now just as a guide, and I'm going to include it in the bonus activity so you can look at it for a reference direct. But the fifth row just shows it's 5-cent coins, which gives you a total of 25 cents, okay? So I'm just adding this fifth row here to give you a total of 25 cents for that row to help you when you're doing the bonus activity, okay? Why don't we go ahead and look at the bonus activity, and I'll transfer this image onto that as well so it can assist you, okay? Let's take a look at the bonus activity now. So here's the bonus activity, and as you can see, I did include the image on a much smaller scale, but it's still very clear for you to see right here on the right side here, okay? And again, it's just to help you because the question, the first question, could be a bit confusing to you because it it skipped the fifth row, which is why I included it. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the question now. So for number 1, it says, write the value of the rows. The first one has been done for you. So for 1A, it says the 6th row. There was no 5th row, hence me including that and putting the image there for you as a reference to help you. So for the 6th row, you will have 6 coins, so 5 cents times 6 equals 30 cents. Okay, so that's the answer for the 6th row. So for number 1, for B, C, and D, they just pretty much want you to continue doing this. For number 1B, show me the value for the 7th row. For number 1C, show me the value for the 8th row. And then for number 1D, what is the total of the first 6 rows? Okay? So very similar to what we did just previously, earlier in the video. It's just an extension. Okay? So that's what they want you to do for number 1, B, C, D, and E. Now for number 2, letter A here, the question says, how many rows are needed so that the total of all the rows is another multiple of 25 cents? Now here's where you go back to the formula I just showed you earlier in the video. So if you apply this formula here, you should be able to figure out how many rows are needed so that you'll have the total of all rows. That would be another multiple of 25 cents. Okay, and I'm going to mention it again here, that the formula is 5 times n plus 1 divided by 2. Now there are several ways you can write this formula. The visual I'm showing you now is just one way. Is it the only way? Absolutely not. It is not the only way to write this formula, okay? And I showed you earlier another way to write the formula, okay? There are several ways to write the formula to get this answer. The way I'm just showing it here is one way, okay? If you have another way, please share it. Put it down in the comment section below. Show me with one of the examples here that we've done your formula and just share. Let's share the other options that we have. There's never just one way to solve something. There are always multiple ways. So if you've got another way that's just as effective, or you might think is more effective, like I said, put it in the comments section and let's share it. And maybe I might consider making another video about it so we can show other options to doing that, okay? So, and then before I go off on my famous tangent, let me just finish up 2B here. So for number 2, letter B, it says, write down the next total of all rows. That is a multiple of 25 cents. Okay? So again, they want you to write down the row, kind of like what I did for that 5th row here, like that.
the total like that. You can just do that row like that. You don't need to write the whole amount out like I've done here. So I also modeled that fifth row as a way to, if you want for letter number 2b to do, okay? So you can just write this like I did for this fifth row here. You can also just write the answer for number 2b in a similar manner, okay? So that's it for today's lesson, and I really appreciate all the feedback and information that my viewers give me, whether it's a public or private message. It really helps me in developing this channel so it's successful for not just me, but for you, and makes my lessons more effective. Okay, so again, as always, if you have any comments to make, please put them down in the comments section below, or you can send me a message and I'll be happy to read it and provide any more feedback. And if there's anything you would like to see regarding math or English or science or social studies, again, please send me a message and we can make an arrangement. And as always, I really appreciate you guys spending part of your day here with me and watching my video. And I really look forward to seeing you for my next video. Thank you all again.
Thank you once again for joining in today's lesson. Please message me through Facebook Messenger, or you can email me at jollyformore@gmail.com to learn more about my online tutorial service. Please leave a comment down below. If you know someone interested in hiring an online tutor, share this video. And if you would like to get a bell notification for all my newest videos, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. And until then, please be safe out there. Have a great day.